Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Green Lantern John Stewart. Today I'll be reviewing this figure in the following categories: accessories, articulation, design, is it essential to your collection, functionality, and price. Once those scores are total, I'll give you my opinion if this figure is a pass or a purchase. So for accessories, this is perhaps the most that we got for a McFarlane figure. So let's take a look at it. So we get this armor construct, that's what at least I'm going to call it, which goes around the torso of John Stewart. We also get a backpack. And then we get a Gatling gun, all done in that translucent green. Still no hands, still no additional head sculpt. However, this is an improvement. Also, we get the stand that typically comes with McFarlane toys. I just want to spend a few seconds here. Man, I am really digging this. This is such a cool construct. The only thing that I would have liked to seen for this to be casted in that same brighter translucent green that the animated version of John Stewart came with. So for overall accessories, I am pretty pleased. I'm going to give John Stewart a 7 out of 10. So for articulation, the head is able to look up about that far, not bad. It's able to come all the way down, you get some turn, and you get some pivot and some shift back and forth. So with the arm, it's able to go up about that much. You're able to turn it a full 360. You do get an upper bicep cut. Elbows are, wow, double jointed, bending all the way in. And the hands are on a ball peg, so you're able to get full range. Moving on to the torso. Okay, so you have a floating piece. So just using the top, you get a good amount of rotation, pivot. He's barely able to move forward. McFarlane has to do something with this. It barely crunches forward. Good amount backwards. Using the, what is this bottom part? Using the, I am all the way off camera, sorry about that. Using the combination of the two, he's able to turn that way, crunch a little bit more further, a lot back. Moving down to the legs are able to kick out, wow, only that far. They're able to kick all the way up, go back a great amount. And here's another issue with McFarlane. See, I don't always feel that the figures need to have the thigh cut, but if they can't turn well, then yes, McFarlane needs to incorporate that thigh cut. Storm Collectibles does a great job of not having a thigh cut, but the leg rotates well. So this is not well. The knees are single jointed, bending in about that much. The foot is able to go back that much, forward all the way up, and you get some turn, but it's on an angle. And nearly forgot, you get what is being called the butterfly joint now. It's able to come forward only that much, backwards barely any. Oops, and you also get articulations in the toes, very loose however. So for overall articulation, John Stewart moves pretty good in some areas. I'm pretty happy with the head. The arms are phenomenal. The torso, there are some limitations. And the legs, also some limitations. I'm going to give you some juice. So for the overall articulation, I'm going to give John Stewart a 7 out of 10. So for design, I had to pull up some images as I wasn't familiar with the suit itself. I mean, I am familiar with the classic Green Lantern green and black. However, if you look closely at this suit, there's a lot of sculpted detail. So this is from DC Rebirth, and I found some similar images. Now, what I really want to talk about is this head sculpt. This is the best looking John Stewart that I've ever seen. Starting with this head sculpt, it is fantastic looking. Now, when it comes to John Stewart, my mind always takes me back to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. But this is a fantastic looking John Stewart. Quite the handsome action figure. And looking at the extra sculpted details, I really like it. It helps to, even though it's just green in certain areas and black in other areas, the sculpted detail helps to break up some of that black. You have some areas that have a matte finish, such as in front, and then you have some shimmer on the leg area. Why would you put that on and I'm recording this? Okay, so back to the figure. So I'm really digging how this Jon Stewart looks. My paint apps are pretty clean. The white is where it needs to be. The green is where it needs to be. So I do see some areas, like it looks like hair got on my figure when it was painted. I can't say for sure if that's what it is. But really a good looking Jon Stewart. For design, I could give this a 10, but looking at the source material, this ventures off, so I'm going to give Jon Stewart an 8 out of 10. So is Jon Stewart essential to your collection? Absolutely, especially if you're building Justice League or either your Green Lantern Corps. There have been a few iterations of Jon Stewart. In my opinion, this is perhaps one of the best, if not the best figure that we have thus far. Considering some of the other DC figures may have very limited articulation, the look of the figures are particularly off, and some of the figures are just quite old. The new iterations of Jon Stewart would of course be this, and the Mezco one that came out maybe a few years back. This doesn't scale quite well with that Mezco figure, so if you need something a bit taller, this is the one that you want. So as far as being essential to your collection, I'm going to give this Jon Stewart an 8 out of 10. Strongly considering bringing that score up to a 9. So for functionality, Jon Stewart passes the stand test, standing quite fine on his own. So for functionality, I really want to start at the torso for a moment. So we get this soft area, which, allows for a bit of better movement, but it still hinders him on the front. McFarlane has to improve this. They have to improve this crunch forward. It is just not there. I'm okay with how the head looks up. I would like it to look up a bit further, especially for a flying character. And the range motion, the articulations in the arms are fantastic. The legs, that has to be improved. It's no way that you cannot have a thigh swivel here and the leg barely rotates. So that's something that McFarlane has to improve on. So now let's pop this head off for a moment. Let's put on this armor construct. Let's pop this head back on. Let's throw this backpack on. You want to put it on for me? Okay. Go ahead. Plug it in. Good. Right there. Good job. I think it goes this way. And then, using the only hands that he comes with, let's pry this in here. And boom. Oh man, I love how this looks. This is exactly how I am going to display him. So for functionality, the accessories work well with the figure. This I may even glue on. It's a little bit, it's not loose, it fits pretty well, but I may want it to be more snug. So for overall functionality, I am definitely deducting points for the limitation in the torso crunching forward, as well as those legs, if they would have had a swivel or able to rotate more. So I'm taking 2 points for the leg alone. So for overall functionality, I'm giving Jon Stewart a 7 out of 10. So now for pricing. Jon Stewart comes in at $20. I was able to pick mine up from Target. Throw in taxes, you're looking about $22. I did not have to pay for shipping. So now, is he worth the price of admission? So let's see what he comes with. So in terms of accessories, we get more with Jon Stewart than we've really gotten for any other character. Any accessories that he comes with are fantastic. I just want more. I hope McFarlane does accessory packs at some point, because we need to get hands, we need to get additional head sculpts, and I would love just to get mini constructs for the Green Lantern characters, as hopefully we'll see a bunch more in the lineup. So for $20 or $22, you're getting a unique scope, and I don't know how McFarlane continues to do this. According to companies, to produce action figures can range up to $100,000 or more on a singular mold. I think McFarlane has me questioning if that amount is actually spent, because he continues to provide unique molds. So for overall pricing, this is fantastic. For John Stewart character, I'm going to give him 10 out of 10. That will give John Stewart an overall cliff score of... So now is John Stewart a pass or a purchase? If you can't tell already, he's an absolute purchase. I am going to say without a question, this is definitely one of the best Green Lantern figures I own, period. Not just talking about John Stewart. And it may be the best. It is the best. I'm going to say that. It is the best version of John Stewart that I have. The head sculpt is absolutely fantastic. The constructs work. And just to think that all of this came for a price point of $20. I can just hope that we get more. Hopefully McFarlane is moving slightly away from Batman. I wouldn't mind if we continue to see Green Lantern characters for the rest of the year. Here's John Stewart by himself. Here he is next to G.I. Joe Classified Zartan. Oh, you know what? I can actually move them over. Not bad as I thought it would be. You may be able to make that work. Here he is next to Marvel Selects Psylocke. And I did not know she would be taller than John Stewart. I don't like that. And here he is next to McFarlane's DC Multiverse, Azrael. So thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. I hope to see you on the next review.